Let's take a look at Ultra FICO. We mentioned at the beginning of this show here. Now, Matt, over the weekend, I got, speaking of American Express, one of the things I get with American Express is every quarter they send me my free credit report, and I get this and I can look through to dispute any problems or anything, but it gives me my FICO score. And it always makes me feel good because I take good care of my credit score. My FICO score is still good. So I'm going to sleep at night and I'm feeling nice and safe and comfy in my home, knowing that the bank is going to keep lending me that money because I've got a good FICO score. And then I wake up and I read about this Ultra FICO score, and now I'm getting a little bit concerned because this sort of piggybacks on the conversation we had last week in regard to the return of zero-down subprime mortgages. And essentially, Ultra FICO, Fair Isaac, the company that created and uses the FICO credit score, is going to roll out this new scoring system in early 2019 that essentially factors in how consumers manage the cash in their checking, savings, and money market accounts. So it's basically another way for them to measure an individual's particular credit risk. And the whole idea behind this, it's not to make sure that they are lending to the best possible borrowers. What they're trying to do is expand the pool of borrowers and give more credit to more people, to grow that opportunity to lend to more people. Now, I can't help feel like maybe between last week's story on the subprime mortgages and this week's Ultra FICO score, I'm a little bit skeptical at first glance that this is a good idea. You said that you're going to be speaking with these good people out there this week. Tell me a little bit about what you think about this Ultra FICO score.
Well, it makes sense to a certain degree. When you go to open a checking account, they run a credit check on you, so it's a product that you need, good credit to get. You need to use your checking account responsibly to keep it open. So it is somewhat a predictor of responsible financial behavior. But at the same time, this is kind of being used as a backup FICO score. If you go to apply for a loan, here's the idea. If you go to apply for, say, a mortgage, they run your FICO score and say, oh, your score is too low, you don't qualify for a mortgage. You could say to this lender, if they give you the option, okay, now check my Ultra FICO score, which would take into account, if you've had a checking account open for a long time with no overdrafts, no defaults, it would take that into account and potentially raise your score and allow you to qualify for a lending product that you otherwise wouldn't. So it makes sense to a degree, but like you said, I am skeptical. There's a reason that people with low FICO scores don't qualify for loans. It's because they generally don't have a very strong history of financial responsibility for one reason or another. So I'm approaching this with caution. I'm meeting with FICO CEO, as you said, tomorrow morning. Definitely have a list of questions written down for him. And I'm curious to hear what they say about it in more detail and kind of the rationale behind it, which I will definitely be glad to share with our listeners next week, whatever I take out of that meeting. But for the time being, I'm approaching this with caution. I like the FICO score system the way it is, and simply put. I think it does a very good job of predicting consumer financial behavior. Seems more like a way to just, boost banks' lending pools a little bit more.
Yeah. And I guess bottom line is I'm not going to change what I'm doing, and I think I'll dance with what I've got because it seems to be working so far.